I want to talk to you about Discovery Miles versus Capital One Venture. And the thing is, when it comes to choosing a travel rewards credit card, those two cards are pretty interesting. And I want to do a quick compare and contrast and tell you which features you want to pay attention to when choosing one or the other one. Okay, one or the other. So the key takeaways here are the fact that the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card and the Discover It Miles are actually they're not actually top tier travel rewards credit card. They are mid tier travel cards. They're not basic or they're not actually top tier. They're just right in the middle. So mid tier travel cards that actually offer valuable rewards with low annual fees. Okay, you still have to pay some annual fees, but those fees are low. So Capital One Venture cardholders can earn a generous welcome bonus, elevated rewards on hotels and rental car purchases through a Capital One travel, and a flat 2x miles on other purchases. Okay, so that's pretty good, but everything actually everything is optimized if you actually go through the Capital One travel portal. So that's for the venture. That's for the Capital One venture. And what about the Discovery Miles? Well, this card actually comes with a nice earnings rate on purchases, an excellent introductory APR on purchases, and balanced transfers, and no annual fee. So there is no annual fee to account for if you go with this card. So when choosing between the Capital One Venture and Discovery Miles travel credit cards, you need to consider a few things. Number one, do you prioritize higher rewards on purchases, or do you like to have no annual fee, right? One thing you need to understand here is that there are hundreds of rewards credit cards on the market today. So you got to really have a clear idea about what matters to you. Let me show you something real fast. I want you to look on the screen right now. And this is actually a bird's eye view of what the two cards offer. So you can see the welcome bonus for the Discovery Miles versus the Capital One Venture Rewards. Okay. Of course, I'll go in details later on, but I just wanted to give you a bird's eye view so you can see the rewards rate for both cards. The intro APR. Intro APR actually is valid for the Discovery Miles. There is no intro APR for the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card. Okay. And same thing for the annual fee. So the Discovery Miles is not charging you anything, but the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card is charging you stuff. They're charging you $95. And the redemption options are what you have. I'll go into detail later on. So if you think about the Discovery Miles versus Capital One Venture, let's quickly look at the categories you want to pay attention to before choosing which card is right for you. So if you think about the welcome bonus, the winner here is the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card, okay? And the reason why it won is because this card actually offers a 75,000 miles after you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months. So first 3 months of account opening, if you spend up to $4,000, you are actually racking up 75,000 miles, okay? And besides, you can receive a one-time $250 Capital One travel credit in your first cardholder year. And these miles are worth an average of 1 cent each, although you can potentially get more value if you transfer them to Capital One airline and hotel partners. Okay, so either way, this bonus is worth a minimum of $1,000. So this is really good in terms of I would say efficiency, in terms of optimization. So the Discovery Miles doesn't offer a traditional welcome bonus. Instead, what it does is it does things a little differently, because the card will match all the rewards you have earned after the first year. So when you run the numbers, you can see that you would have to spend $50,000 on your card within a year to earn 75,000 bonus miles through Discover's cashback match program. So that's a lot of spending for most people. Think about it. $50,000 in a year. That's more than $4,000 a month. Okay. So the Capital One Venture is easily the winner in the category when it comes to the welcome bonus offer. What about the rewards rate? Well, the rewards rate, the winner here is the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card because basically you would earn a maximum of 2x miles on all purchases and 5x miles on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. The Discovery Miles only offers, the card only offers 1.5x miles, okay, for each dollar that you spend. So right then and there, you can see the delta is clearly in Capital One Venture Rewards favor. So what about if you think about Discovery Miles versus Capital One Venture? Who wins? Which card wins when it comes to annual fees? Well, here you have the Discovery Miles because this card actually doesn't charge you anything. Whereas, as I said to you a little earlier, the Capital One Venture Rewards card charges you a $95 fee every single year. Now, of course, you have to understand that this card actually. There are ways. There are ways to actually waive the fee the first year, but across the board, you will see that the Discovery Miles actually wins. What about foreign transaction fees here? Well, in this category, both cards actually do not charge you anything, so there is a tie here. Okay, so neither of this card charges foreign transaction fees, so they are both suitable for international travel or for shopping on foreign websites. So if you are in the States right now and you like shopping on European websites or Australian or Latin American, wherever you like to shop, you can actually use the card, not a problem at all. Okay, so this card is not going like the Capital One is not going to charge you anything, and same thing for. So you can see that. So in terms of 4 categories, so welcome bonus. Here you have the Capital One Venture Rewards winning. When it comes to rewards rate, same thing. This card wins. When it comes to an annual fee, the Discovery Miles wins. And when it comes to foreign transaction fee, basically there is a tie. So which card really earns the most? If you think about Discovery Miles versus Capital One Venture, you got to really ask yourself which card earns the most depending on your spending setup. Okay, so since the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card has a higher earning rates on everyday purchases, you will always earn more with this card than you would with the Discovery Miles, assuming equal spending. That's what I said to you a little earlier, that everything boils down to your spending pattern. It depends on what kind of spending you have, and it also depends on what I call the velocity of spending, like how often you spend. Now, that said, how much more you will earn in the first year depends on how much you use your card and whether you book travel through Capital One. Okay, so let me give you an example here. So Discovery Miles versus Capital One Venture Rewards spending example. So imagine you have a family of 4, which is basically I would say the classic example that we have seen across the board. So your average food spending will work out to about $1360 per month, okay, on a moderate plan according to the USDA, Department of Agriculture. So let's also imagine that you spend $400 per month, which amounts to $4,800 a year dining out, $300 per month, $3,600 a year on hotels and rental cars, and $1,000 per month, which is $12,000 a year on miscellaneous purchases. So with a Capital One Venture, you would earn actually 84, like a little over 84,000 miles in the first year. So you're looking at 32,000 miles on groceries. I'm going to put this on the screen so it's pretty clear to you what I really mean here. So you're looking at 32,000 on groceries. You have about 10,000 miles on dining out, 18,000 miles on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. Make sure you book it through Capital One Travel, okay? And 24,000 miles actually on regular spending. So when you add the 75,000 bonus miles you earn the first year, plus the 250 Capital One travel credit, your rewards actually work out to be a little shy of 160,000 miles. So that's worth 1,600. Okay, a little shy of that. Now with the Discovery miles, on the other hand, you would earn 55,000 miles on spending during the first year. So again, I'm going to put this on the screen. So that's about 24.5 thousand miles on groceries, 7,200 miles on dining out, 5,400 miles on hotels and rental cars, and 18,000 miles on regular spending. So that's something to really remember. So and after the first year of card membership, Discover will match your miles for a total rewards haul of 110,000 miles, and that's worth about $1,000. Now, let me really dig a little deeper here. Why should you get the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card this year? The thing is, when it comes to choosing a credit card, you can't really say, well, I want to go with one card versus another. You got to really ask yourself, what are you after? What kind of travel, like in this case, what kind of travel rewards are you after? Are you really interested in? Because that will guide the kind of decision you make, okay? There is no denying that the Capital One Venture offers a better rewards rate in every scenario. However, there are additional reasons this card is actually well worth it. So one thing you need to understand here is that basically this year, starting early this year, Venture and Spark cardholders will no longer receive complimentary lounge access, but will get 2 complimentary visits to Capital One airport lounges. Okay. And so they and their guests can access these lounges for $45 per visit thereafter. So other benefits actually include access to pre-sale tickets and member experiences, an auto rental collision damage waiver coverage, a fee statement credit worth up to $120 for a global entry, or a TSA pre-check membership, and extended warranty coverage on eligible items. So something to really think about, okay? So in terms of redemption, so that's for the benefits. In terms of redemption options, Capital One miles are considerably more valuable than they used to be. You can move your miles to Capital One transfer partners like Air Canada, Aeroplan, Air France Flying Blue, Choice Privileges, Emirates, and Singapore Airlines, with most partners offering a transfer ratio of 1:1. And so when transferred to top partners, you actually, based on our calculation, Capital One miles can be worth 1.7 cents each. Although this depends on where you transfer your miles in the first place. So you got to do a little bit of strategy in terms of the transfers here. Okay, so that's important. You can also redeem miles for travel through the Capital One travel portal, or for a statement credit to cover eligible travel purchases made within the last 90 days. Okay. Further, rewards can be used for gift cards or purchases through PayPal or Amazon.com. So this is really good. So what about the Discovery miles? Should you actually get it? Let's quickly have a conversation about that. So the main reason, if you think about it, the main reason to consider the Discovery miles out of these 2 cards is that if you don't want to pay an annual fee, because the card doesn't charge you an annual fee. Remember, the Capital One Venture is charging you $95 a year. Okay. So if you don't want to, and the Discovery miles is not charging you anything. I mean, as a matter of fact, no Discover credit card charges you any annual fee at all. So that's actually the basic rule to remember. Okay. Now, there are other nuances to be aware of. So you have the fact that the Discovery miles is relatively light on perks and benefits, although you do get a free FICO credit score and help with some basic online privacy protection. However, this card's introductory offer for purchases and balance transfers is actually the main benefits, okay? So thanks to this card's 0% intro APR offer on purchases and balance transfers for 15 months, you actually have a lot of possibilities here. You can save money, and you can pay down large purchases or consolidate debt from other cars. Actually, so this is pretty good if you think about it. And the Discover Rate Miles doesn't have any transfer partners to which you can move your rewards, but you can redeem statement credits for travel purchases made in the last 180 days. Okay, you can redeem, for instance, your miles for statement credits to cover all or part of your credit card bill, electronic deposits to a bank account, or purchases through Amazon or PayPal. So this is pretty good. So the bottom line is, if you are ready to choose a travel credit card and are looking closely at the Capital One Venture and Discover It Miles, you actually need to ask yourself, what do you want the most, right? What kind of features are you really interested in? This will help you big time in terms of possibilities, in terms of options too. And you got to ask yourself, do you prefer the chance to earn a higher rewards rate on everything you buy? Or do you want a credit card with no annual fee? This will really be pretty helpful in terms of the analysis. So if rewards are your main goal, the Capital One Venture Rewards is the way to go. Think about it, because of course you have to account for the fact that you have, like, you will have $95 to pay every single year, and that $95 is now waivable the first year. It's not. It's not at all. You have to ask yourself what kind of strategy you have to put in place. But hey, listen, the rewards you get actually offset very easily the $95 you could potentially pay in fees. Okay. Now, if neither of these cards fit the bill, you can actually compare additional travel credit cards from Capital One, Discover, and other major issuers such as Chase, such as Citi, such as Wells Fargo, such as Bank of America. Actually, okay. So by comparing all your options, you can find a travel credit card with the earning rate, redemption options, and perks you want the most. As a matter of fact, when I say travel credit card, I forgot to mention American Express. Okay, so this is one of the biggies when it comes to travel credit cards. Okay, and of course you also have the mid-tier banks such as PNC, U.S. Bank, Truist, BMO Harris. You have Fifth Third Bank. You have Huntington Bank. And also the credit unions. You have lots of financial institutions out there that actually give you a pretty good travel credit cards to consider. So the closing chapter in today's conversation, I did a quick compare and contrast between Discovery Miles and Capital One Venture, and I went through certain categories to see which one wins, depending on I would say depending on the category. Okay, so that's pretty important to remember here. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.